Hello, everybody, and welcome
Hey!
to the Brighter Side Live. Welcome. Oh my God, dude, the worst. I'm the worst.
That's all right, man. You're the talent. You shouldn't be dealing with
The
this.
production side, dude, it's unbelievable the amount of shit I have to think about. And people are just kind of like, oh, all you do is like sit around and play video games for a living? That must be easy sneezy. And I'm like, dude, all right.
It's hard as fuck to do nothing.
Soon. It is. It's surprisingly hard to do nothing. Soon, Sharp Roberts, thank you for the host. Soon, you're a balloon. Hopefully I will at some point, not even soon, in the far fucking future, I will have a producer that does all of this, and then it becomes easy. And then I will say absolutely 100% my life is very easy when I'm doing streaming.
Yeah.
But until then, Lord knows, it is. But I will even say this: just the performance element alone, we don't have to get into this, but it is harder than you think it is.
No, you have to have at least one fraction of a personality.
You have to have a fraction of personality. You have to literally, please keep sound off. All right, should we mute ourselves? We have to literally never stop talking. I've seen so many people be like, I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm like, go for it, dude. And then they get on, and then it's like half an hour in, and it's dead silent. And it's hard to keep it going. It's a radio DJ gig. I always tell people this, more than like the just hanging out playing video games gig.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's keeping the energy, baby. And the energy is palpable today. I'm so excited to be doing this. We are so sorry. I'm going to call us a couple of fuck boys.
What? And we both fucked it.
We both fucked it.
I fucked it first and you fucked it second.
And then I fucked it second. Well, I'm sorry. I had to go to an audition that I didn't get.
I'm sorry I was sick.
Ugh, there you go. What's the brighter side of having to go to these auditions?
I talked about my illness that kept me from doing it on the show last week on
Yes, I believe it's called drunkard's disease.
I was having a panic attack.
Oh, no. It was, what happened? Do you get panic attacks now?
It was my second one ever.
Really? How long ago was the first one?
Probably about 6 years before that.
Oh, okay. So this isn't, okay, interesting.
Yeah. It was just random. But we went through all of this last week.
Okay. But that's good. Let's have a check-in from last week. Are you feeling better now?
I didn't have a problem.
You didn't have a problem before?
Fine. It lasted like an hour, and then I was the normal person again.
So, of course, the format of the show, by the way, before we go into our gripes to find brighter sides of to start things off, I love that you have a list of them, because right now I was telling Ed before we started, I'm like, I am kind of on a vacay staycay in LA, so I'm like seeing old friends. You know, I'm just coming off of the wedding. It's the sunny Los Angeles. It's beautiful. It's relaxing. It's fun.
It's wonderful.
So it's hard for me to find a ton of gripey gripes.
Well, one of my gripes involves you.
Okay.
So
perfect.
Not I'm mad at you, but it was like you were there during my gripe.
Are you sure you don't want to save it for April Reels Day if it is a gripe towards me?
It's not towards you. I'll save April Reels Day. That'll be.
We'll have
to do an hour together.
If you don't know what April Reels Day, this is kind of a podcast crossover thing. On page 7, Jackie and I and Molly, in bitching about how much we hate April Fool's Day, we came up with April Reels Day. It happens on April 19th, which will be this Friday for the Jackie's dating sims. And Jackie and I will give each other our April Reels. And it's literally something you're essentially afraid to say to the other person that you're a little worried about saying, because it's a little true and it's a little honest and curt. Generally probably about like something you feel like they can improve on, or you wish they would stop doing, or something, right?
Yeah.
But it can't be too real, because we will have the too real cards. And the too real cards are plastic and in the shape of a hand. And if we say something too real, the other one gets to use the too real slapper to slap the other person in the face. So I have my April Reel for Jackie prepared. And I don't think it's too real. I've got a couple of different ones, but I think I'm going to go with one that I feel like is a good thing to say.
Can I say mine to Jackie now?
No.
Over here?
In fact, the rule is you have to be
personable.
in person. This is not a social media drag fest.
Okay.
We're trying to avoid that. You have to be in person, eye to eye.
That makes a lot of sense.
And if you're not in person, eye to eye, you are not allowed to April Reel the other person. So essentially, if you were, thinking ahead, you would just avoid all people on April Reels Day. But we made it April 19th so that you can forgive and forget. because
nice.
the very next day is 420.
So do you
So
have
just
to
smoke it off.
Do you have to smoke weed in order to participate in April Reels Day?
No, but we just decided we'd put it right next to 420 for the people that do, just to give a little bit of cushion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like at least those people can just I don't care if you're gonna forgive, at least you can forget.
April Reels Day.
Sorry,
like
that was
it.
a bit of a tangent.
I was a big April Fool's Day fan until social media killed it.
Yeah.
You can't surprise anyone if you wake up and there's a million April Fool's posts everywhere. We used to be able to get people. I got Henry so many times before social media blew up.
Yeah.
And it's just like now I don't even have a chance.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. And, just the whole thing I feel like is flawed. And it's like, as a comedian, I don't want to be fooled. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I was saying about April Fool's Day on page 7 was that
mean.
I love that Howard Stern, George Clooney always invites him to his Italian villa home.
Oh, he's a prankster.
And exactly. And Howard Stern's like, I refuse because I know that that's what he does. And I refuse to be a part of his mini pranks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he doesn't go to this George Clooney's house.
And George Clooney could prank me and I'll
you would enjoy it. Exactly. But he's just like, I don't like pranks. I think it's a comedian that a lot of comics I think are really opposed to being pranked.
Well, yeah, because I'm off.
Yeah, I'm off work.
I'm not doing the funny right now.
And I always react poorly to pranks. I always get too mad and then it gets too real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I feel all embarrassed because I'm like, well, I got all mad.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I saw Year of Twitch. You have something. You might have to repeat that later. Time Machine Keeper, by the way, do you know Time Machine Keeper's boyfriend, Jack W? I'll just say Jack W to not dox him on the podcast.
What do you mean? She wrote his fucking name.
I know Jack Willis, and he had
I know a couple Willises, but I don't know Jack. I know Tim Willis.
Had a lot of hair. He was violent in high school.
Oh, Jesus. I
know
Dave Willis and Tim Willis.
Yeah, that's true. I think I know Dave Willis.
It's a different Dave Willis.
Oh, okay.
You never met him. But the Don Willis used to run our fucking town.
Willises do you have?
Well, Don Willis, he was a sponsor of the football team. They were rich. And but I don't know Jack Willis.
Okay, interesting.
I knew a lot of people in high school. I was in a class of 700 people. And there was I knew everyone in the entire school, so I probably met Jack once or twice.
I was in a class.
We did not hang out, especially if he was violent.
I was in a class of 99 people. How crazy is that? I knew everybody.
Yeah, and you were in Charlotte,
and I literally, most of them, we went through all of middle and high school together.
That's crazy.
It sucked because very few new people would come to the school. They'd immediately get picked off. So if you weren't fucking somebody in 6th grade, there's a decent chance you're not fucking somebody senior year.
Well, that's what happened to you.
Yes, 100%. I just was unable. I will say, I will attribute it largely to my inability to understand or communicate with women during that time and my fear of it. I think people don't talk about this enough when you're in middle and high school. It's something you've never done before, make out with a girl. It's terrifying. So I think a lot of kids save themselves from it by just getting, like I did, by getting a crush on a girl they know in the back of their head they have no chance with.
I mean, that happens to all of us.
To protect yourself from actually having to, be intimate for the first time, which is a bit scary.
See, what I did was I get the crush on the one girl. She keeps denying you. Then you hook up with her friends to make her jealous, and then she hates you. Yeah. You learn that, and that's one of the many things you learn in high school to not do again.
Okay, so you have gripes.
I got personal gripes.
All right, give me stuff, and then we're gonna get to Year of Twitch, and we're gonna get to I love Jane Doe. Really quick, Jane Doe 42069. About a year ago, I sent Ed a really depressed Facebook message about being a broke opera singer, and last week I found out that I got into one of the best masters in voice opera programs in New York.
You gotta
keep on
out, baby.
Because nothing is permanent. Hard work pays off. It took me 10 or 15 years of doing comedy for free before this took off. And by the way, what I'm doing is on the lowest possible making it of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have my niche audience. I'm not even blowing up, exploding, but I still would not give back that 15 years to get where I got today.
Hell yeah, opera, man. And I like to take a moment to say I've been behind on my messages. I haven't been answering all of them. I will get to you. I'm going to take a day and just go through all my Facebook messages. Sorry about that, guys. I feel like a dick, especially because I always tell you to message me.
Gripe number one.
My dog loves piss. can't get my dog.
Was that the one I was there for? I just pissed in his mouth. You're like, come on. I told you my problem, and you told me your desire, and I said, no, you cannot piss in my dog's
I'll
mouth.
wash my dog, and then he just like hops in a pile of piss.
Yeah.
He likes the smell of piss more than the president of the United States.
Interesting.
I can't deal with it, man.
So he's like rolling all around in it, or he's just putting his face in it?
He puts his, if there's a bunch of piss on a pole, he'll like rub his face on the pole.
Right.
He like, I can't stop. Now I've been cleaning him a lot, but he hates that. And then he immediately jumps for a pile of piss.
Right.
And now whenever I see him roll around the grass, I can't think it's cute because I just assume there's a big pile of piss there.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least your
100%.
dog doesn't love shit. He does not love shit.
At least he doesn't love shit. And you know what? I will say the brighter side of that. That dog's happy. And what you're doing to the dog is making the dog upset. But when that dog is with that piss, you should at least sit back and be like, that's what happiness fucking looks like. You know what I mean?
Man, all right.
Before you crouch into the ground and have another in a series of panic attacks.
I don't know what to do about this piss-smelling dog.
Yeah.
But, he lives on my couch, and now my couch stinks. And don't tell Amber because she's a phobia of it. All right.
Of what?
Just dirty dogs.
Just dirty dogs.
She has a phobia. She likes dogs.
It's interesting because I feel like being in New York, I always talk about this. Like, I don't understand germaphobes in New York, and I feel like New York has cleansed me of any germophobia I would ever possibly conceive having, because at all times I visualize when my hand is on the subway pole that pole is covered in homeless man cum.
Pink eye, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some
and
dude
homeless
with
man
pink
cum
eye
and
like
ass and
rub
everything.
his pink eye one time and then go to put his hand on the pole, and I was just like, no, other hand.
Yeah, dude. But at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter, man, because they're gonna fucking fuck your shit up. They're gonna get you their shit on you and their piss on you and their cum on you, however the fuck they can. It's gonna happen if you live in New York. Like, so I don't know what everybody's trying to do.
My Uber driver this morning.
Okay.
I get in. It's this really fat Russian man, and he's just like, as soon as I get in, he's like, "You Edward?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't understand. I do Uber 12 days. I have 9 1-star ratings. 1 more 1-star rating. No more Uber for me. Why people do this? Why people give 1 star?"
Well, do you think he deserved 1 star?
I mean, if he's immediately bitching about it the moment I get in the car.
I mean, I'd find that to be, you're laughing about it right now.
No, it's hilarious.
Is this a gripe? This just sounds like a hilarious thing that happened to you.
I mean, I don't know what's kind of funny.
I have a gripe, though, with 2 gripes with the Ubers, especially outside of NYC. And outside of NYC, in LA it's awful too, because everybody's like trying to be in the same career that you're in too. So you have to hide what you do for a living.
I definitely say I'm a cook all the time.
Yeah, because you can't. Or Jackie just says she's unemployed. Because then there's nowhere to take. You know what I mean?
That's actually great.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that? I told her she should say I just had a miscarriage and start crying. You know what I mean? In the back seat for the rest of the time.
I'm a stinky woman.
Yeah, or just say I'm a stinky woman, start crying. It's probably a little less devastating. And apologize for if you're upset with what I just said, because you personally have experienced a miscarriage. Don't feel like anybody should be joking around about that. But you know what I'll say about that? It's like we're living in a fucking crazy ass world, dude.
That's right.
And
my third.
My other gripe. All right. Well, first of all, people in Ubers, Uber drivers outside of New York all want to have a convo with you.
Yes.
It's even worse in Charlotte, where I'm from. Like, every Uber driver wants to chat with you. In LA, it's awful because they want to network with you.
Yeah.
Second gripe, cool it on the air freshener, boys.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's...
When you get into a car and it's like, it was freezing outside, right?
Yeah.
Freezing cold, so I can't, roll down the window. And I'm just being blasted. My senses are just being blasted by this fucking shit.
I know we're not allowed to be racist anymore.
Okay.
But...
Nice preface. Love that forever. Every time I hear that preface, I'm like, give it. Everybody's watching.
There's a lot of Armenians out here.
Okay.
And they love cologne.
And they love cologne.
They deal in cologne.
Yes.
There's a lot of cologne
There's a lot going on. And I'm going to say this. My white father also had an issue.
Yeah.
looking back, where your nose.
Oh, my grandfather, he was the worst.
Your nose gets desensitized to it. I mean, it's a common occurrence. It's something that I had to learn about. Your nose, your senses get desensitized when you're wearing it, and you don't think you have enough on. But everyone around you knows for a fact you have way too much on at all times.
And plus, my grandfather, his sense of smell was shot because he was a smoker for 50 years.
Even worse, yeah.
And so he just had no sense of smell, and he had all these cologne samples that you would get out of like a magazine. Remember that? You would unfold a magazine and then you'd rub it on your hand and then you'd smell like your car. You know, that's how they used to sell cologne back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, he would just rip out those pages and keep them in his hospital drawer and give them to me when I showed him. He was like, smell good for the ladies, eh? You know, it's like, I'm 10.
And then also, thanks for the sub, Trace is bad. Also, the thing I would say about it is that, oh my God, I just had a brain fart. Just Uber. He was a smoker. So like the mixture of fucking too much cologne and cigarettes is the filthiest smell. It's just the same as like
Paris.
It's Paris. It's also like, you know, when you spray a bunch of smelly shit over your dirty shit.
Oh man, that was me in football practice.
It just hurts. It just doesn't. It smells like lime shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, you smell like a beached whale covered in polo sport.
Yeah. Floral shit, which is disgusting. It's like I'd rather keep the two smells separate. Just turn on the fan and we'll be done, right?
Oh, yeah.
Light a match, we're good, right? Okay, we should talk about stinky shit.
Third gripe, real fast.
Yes, please.
Me and Holden went to Universal together.
Yes,
a lot of fun.
Had a great time.
The Harry Potter light show.
Little underwhelming.
I did not like it.
I'm glad you said that.
You know what my major problem with it is?
What?
There's no fucking Harry Potter.
Well, I'm okay with it. I like that it was this evil light show.
Whatever, but I mean, you're having a Harry Potter light show in Harry Potter world, and you don't put Harry Potter in it.
Yeah, it was evil. It was all the evil, the Dementors and Voldemort.
He doesn't have to win, but just like show us, you know, like,
have his head dangling out.
Anything,
just decapitated head with just blood gushing out of it.
The wizarding world of Harry Potter.
You can't help me anymore, children, and just like throw it into like a trash can.
No, Alan Rickman love nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but it's evil light show exactly.
It is an evil light show. It is that, but nothing happens. There's like no dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just like a hand on a castle and then the front's off. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. As a light show fan, it could go fuck. And I expect more from Harry Potter world.
Absolutely. I agree. You know, it's one of those two where, is it awful that I feel awful saying this? Felt a little small.
Oh, it's cramped in there.
Well, just the whole park. It's just very small.
Yeah, it's a very small park.
It's $120, and you can really just kind of traipse through the whole park pretty quickly.
Well, not because the Simpsons line is 110 minutes. So you can't do that.
I mean, you can't get into that. That was the one thing I didn't get to do, which is crazy because I feel like I said this to you guys when you were like, it's a 55-minute wait, and it was the end of the day, and I was just kind of like, you know, do you want to do? I was like, 13-year-old me would have waited 4 hours for this ride.
Yeah.
Fucking 36-year-old me is ready to go.
Yeah, man. Fuck it. Who cares?
It's the atmosphere you pay for, and I had a great time. And Simpsons Land was fantastic. The Mummy ride was phenomenal.
I hate the Mummy, and the ride was unbelievable.
So good. It's so good because that's a perfect franchise, not for movies, but for a ride.
Exactly.
They should just take all the Universal horror icons and make a ride out of them because that's like the funnest shit. Dracula, Wolfman. They failed rebooting the franchise with that horrible Tom Cruise Mummy. That was supposed to reboot the Universal monsters. It single-handedly ruined their reboot of all of the Universal. We were going to get a Universal monster movie for every monster if that movie had gone well.
I mean, that's crazy. You can't bank on Tom Cruise taking over the Mummy. He's older than Brendan Fraser.
You're right. It should have been Will Smith.
Should have been Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, that would have been amazing, actually. Fat-faced Brendan Fraser. Was trying to get in touch since I'm Wheels over here and all disabled and shit. I could get you in the rides way faster. Being handicapped has very few perks. There you go.
Oh,
that's good. That's good.
All right.
Maybe if I end up going back. I doubt it, though, because, you know, it's $120 to get into that.
I got the year pass for $149.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you got to get the shitty pass, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, so there's no front of line stuff.
Is there any, like, upgradey shit you can do
I
with
feel like
that
if
pass.
I go there, I could pay an extra $50 to get front of the line.
Which I would
For that
probably.
run. I
But
guess so.
honestly, dude, if you go, we went on a Monday weekday, or whatever it was. I don't even know what. Yeah,
it was still pretty packed.
It was pretty packed, but
Spring
it was
break though.
Yeah,
It's spring break, so
but
it's packed.
I would just say I think there's hours and times and days that you could go where it's not gonna, and you don't need to pay extra for the front. Because even there was one ride we didn't end up riding because the wait was too long, and that was The Simpsons. Everything else was totally chill and easy, and
and I went for like 3 hours by myself, and that was great.
Yeah, which has got to be
Just go
kind of
by
fun.
yourself.
Just
If
wander
you get
around.
a chance to do these things by yourself, I can't recommend it more. Single rider lines, fuck you. I'm in the middle of that hour wait. Eat a dick.
Yeah.
I'm in there in 10 minutes.
Brendan Fraser is super awesome in Doom Patrol right now. I didn't expect it. That's fantastic.
What the hell
All
are
right.
Doom Patrols. We didn't get to any. We're 26 minutes in, and we haven't gotten to one of these people's gripes. We're dealing with our
Exactly.
bullshit.
I can't
saying
believe it.
hi. You know, we're talking about April Reels Day. Can we find one of these people's problems?
Absolutely. Real quick, I'll just say mine really fast, and that's just that, you know, coming out here and spending time with all of you guys makes me really sad that we're so separate as a friend group.
I know.
And that there's this East Coast, West Coast contingent, and it's so spread out, and just it's a bittersweetness hanging out here, because it's like, you know, it's a little bit of a bummer that we're all spread out. Okay, yes, please.
It is
your
nice
Twitch.
though when I go to New York and I get to hang out with everybody.
True, yeah. I mean, it makes coming here so much more fun.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it like this great, good time. Anyways, Eeyore, send yours. Who else? Also, if you have an issue, you have a problem in your life, you want us to talk about it, find the brighter side. That's what we're here for the last 30 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Sorry to be on brand and be an Eeyore, but brighter side of having a stroke. I guess I didn't stroke out and get all strokey, but need an MRI to see if I could have brain damage. Oof.
Well, if you don't know if you have brain damage or not, that means it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, you know. So if you're still kind of like hopping around and thinking you're all right, you're gonna be okay. And like these little strokes, these smaller strokes are totally recoverable. My 70-year-old Uncle Joe just had one, and he just did the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon. He's fine.
You know, different strokes for different folks.
Oh, right. That's actually what killed Gary Coleman, was a series of multiple aneurysms.
Absolutely. So different folks have different strokes. Trioxin. So after trying life in Colorado for 3 years, I have decided to move back to Chicago. I love Colorado. I love it too, Trioxin. Have amazing friends here, but feel I am not truly happy being so distant from family. I keep second guessing if this is the right thing to do, though, and it's very conflicting. What's the brighter side to this all to help me stop backpedaling and second guessing my decision?
Well, I mean, you're not going to have fun until you let yourself have fun. You know, that's all it is. You know, I mean, if you keep thinking about how great everything is in Chicago and how much you want to be back in Chicago, you're never going to start enjoying Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, you can still think Chicago is great and like Colorado. Like, I still think New York is the coolest city in the world, but I live in Los Angeles. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, my brother literally just moved from Denver back to Charlotte for a girl and a life and a whole future, and he's still they're planning their next trip back to Denver this year. I mean, he's still gonna go back. The good thing about it, you can always go back to these places, and if you do feel deep in your heart you're not happy in Colorado, then you probably are making the right decision to be back together with your friends and family. And you know, the other bright side of it is you did it. You went for 3 years. 3 years is the proper amount of time to give a new place a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
did it. If you're feeling it, if you want to go back, you put your time in, and kudos to you for being brave enough to even just make the move in the first place, because that's a very difficult thing for people to do.
Yeah, but you know, like I said, Chicago's a cooler city than, I don't know where you live in Colorado.
Denver's awesome.
Denver's pretty
Red Rocks,
awesome,
dude.
But like if you're like Red Rocks are badass.
Red Rocks is amazing.
And there's a really cool funk scene
craft
in Denver.
breweries, great record store,
and also the comedy scene in Denver is actually
awesome.
pretty fucking good.
Dude, come on, don't even try to. Like, I don't know, everything.
But Chicago's one of the coolest cities in the world.
It's true. Chicago's cool.
But you know, if you stay in Chicago, you will die of fat.
That's the thing. That's the scary thing.
Yeah. You're staying in Boulder. Oh, here we go.
Boulder's great.
Yeah. He said, I'm staying in Boulder during late January and considering moving there. My mom had a stroke while I was out there. Lots of
Jesus,
stroke
with these
news.
strokes going on.
I had to come back to Nevada to help around the house. Oh, Nevada, the worst. My dad's in Nevada and he's all fucked up. I hate it over there.
Oh,
but yeah, and then until my mom goes back and work in July. I mean, yeah, you've had a rough run. Of course, you're like, don't take it out on where you live. It's tough. And if you need some good tax advice, I know it's a little late, but if you didn't do your taxes, you go to Box Elder Accounting in Denver.
There you go. They'll hold your hand. They'll take care of you.
Yeah, they'll
tell
take
them,
care
hey,
of
tell
you.
them Eddie sent you. Tell them Holden tried to stop you. All right. J. Dale Wine says, brighter side of having a super smooth dick, you can always get condoms that are ribbed for her pleasure. Chando Calrissian, my mom had one 2 years ago called a TIA. I'm guessing this is stroke. It had no lasting effects in her. She just changed her diet and a few things. There you go. I didn't realize. I thought it was always devastating if you had one.
No. You can have little ones, but then you can have gigantic ones. And you turn into like fucking Anthony Hopkins from Legends of the Fall.
Oh,
you gotta like talk on a chalkboard that you hang around your neck.
Oh my God, please. This is too full cycle, yo, says Fat Daughters. I was staying in Boulder during late... we already read this, right?
Yeah.
Chando Calrissian, all my friends are in Atlanta, and I probably would have moved anyways, if not for that, but I think people are more important than location, obviously. I mean, that's good things to know about yourself. Mm-hmm. What is more important? For me, I think it's like career and stuff, kind of, and then friends, and then like the town I'm actually in. You know what I mean?
Luckily, those all line up for you.
Exactly. Work pretty well. I would say, though, it's like if I had the choice, I wouldn't move to LA for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it, though. I don't dislike it here like I used to, but still, like if I had that, I wish there was a fucking Hollywood in it of Asheville. You know what I mean?
My God.
Could you imagine if Hollywood was in Asheville?
Yeah, but then Asheville wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem with the whole thing.
That's the problem. The awful people have to congregate for this business to be a business. Sir Daniel Fortesque says, I have severe ADHD, and it's really messing with my life. It's hurting relationships and hard to make friends. I'm 21 and thought I outgrew it, but it's affecting me more than ever. I want to try meds again, but I get afraid of doctors' help.
I mean, not every doctor is good. You're going to have to like go through some shitty doctors till you find a good doctor that you like and understands you and your body. You're only 21. You got a lot of time to deal with this. This problem isn't going away. This is a lifelong issue that you're going to have to deal with. So, I mean, I think you got to listen to doctors and try these meds. And it's a trial and error process. And unfortunately, there will be some errors. And you're going to have to deal with it to find out how to live your life properly.
Yep, and I think there are people out there who understand where you're coming from and would be willing to work with you, and I wonder if, like, there are groups that get together for people who all share the same thing, like ADHD, where they can get together and hang out and commiserate.
Just a bunch of people screaming and, like,
screaming numbers.
It's a pie fight.
The Shred Pirate Robert, so I quit my old job and picked up 2 part-time jobs.
I've done that before.
So I could have my evenings free and spend more time being an actual person instead of just cooking in a kitchen. But you've done that before. But yeah. I'm finding that I'm spending even more time sleeping and being a piece of shit instead of doing things I love, like bicycling. Thank you for the host, Parker. Bicycling, playing, and streaming video games and writing, which makes me feel worse and want to lay around more and wallow. What's the brighter side to my situation, and how can I turn this to positivity? Okay.
Well, if you can't even play video games, I mean, that's a great time waster. What I would say is you have a long list here. You got bicycling, playing video games, streaming video games, writing. Each one of those are very time consuming. Don't keep them all on your list. Do one.
Yeah, maybe pick one.
Just do one, get good at it, get regular at it, and then add another one. There's no rush to all this shit. Like you just start, you made the first choice, you got rid of the old job, and you started 2 new jobs. I get it. That's a great move. Now, like, take your time. There's no reason that you need to, like, be immediately bicycling and playing video games and streaming video games and writing. Just take your time,
Hey,
dude.
Here's another thing, dude. I think the brighter side, by the way, is that there are simple things you can do to start small to get back into your flow and get back energized. I think one of the big things for you is either getting sun, which the bicycling will help with that, or just taking vitamin D pills if you're staying in a lot. And that's going to help give you a little bit more serotonin and energy, and maybe that's going to help get you out of your hole.
Absolutely. Milk isn't a good vitamin D either. They may say it is. It's not. Take the fucking pill.
Go to the vitamin store. Take the vitamin D. I take it all the time because I am a streamer that doesn't get out a lot. I feel so much more energy when I'm in LA. It's nuts.
B12, baby.
I'm just in that sun all the time, and like it really does give you a lot of energy throughout the day, I feel like, and it's fun. I like staying in the studio too, and maybe this will help you. I like staying in the studio because the light just is just comes in, and my day starts with a light on me.
Yeah.
With and I feel more energized to start the day, as opposed to having like, if you have like blackout curtains at home and shit, and you're just never know what time it is, like that can be really disorienting. And I'm realizing now, I think I prefer to have it just the light wake me up every day. I woke up at 8 today, which is crazy.
Yeah, I do the same thing in my house. I keep my blinds kind of open so it hits me in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm out of bed by 10.
Yeah.
You know, which is still late, but as compared to, you know, I used to sleep till like 1, and when I was a fucking horrible drunk, I'd sleep till 5.
Right.
So this is very nice.
It's a lot better.
You know, this is great. You know, and so if you let the light into your life, unless, you know, you're still going through your drinking and drug phase and you're young, and I understand that, and you just need to be passed out in the dark, but a little bit of light helps it out.
There you go. Beautiful. Derelict. Hey guys. I've been dealing with depression for years now, and I have a pretty solid treatment plan. However, I still find it hard to get out of bed most days for what seems like no reason. I'll lay there for hours after waking up. What's the brighter side of wasting away half the day? We just talked about this, actually, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I mean, if you want to lay in bed for a while, I lay in bed for a while.
I lay in bed for a while.
You know what I do? I pick up my phone and I start doing work.
Yeah, okay.
I'll start sending emails and stuff like that. If I'm in bed for an extra hour after I'm awake, I try to get a little, read the news, anything. You know, just make sure you get something accomplished while you're in that bed so you don't feel as awful as you can.
There you go. A literal cabbage, by the way. I've been getting back into Wisdom the Bruiser. Just want to stop by and say thanks. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Balo 30. I'm 24 and my parents pay for everything. Oh, by the way, brighter side also, even if you waste half the day, you still have another half of a day.
Absolutely. There you
for
go.
sure. Let me go scroll up to get to this other one here. Which one was it? It was Balo. Where's Balo? Here you go. I'm 24. My parents pay for everything. I have depression and anxiety, panic attacks all the time. I can't keep my apartment clean, can't keep a job, can't keep up with classes, alienated all my friends because of anxiety. What's the brighter side to being an adult baby?
I mean, it sounds like you need some therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, not to be so direct and a dick. But, you know, it sounds like there's more going on there.
Yeah,
you can't do anything.
I wanted to say, like, you know, start small with, like, keeping your room clean.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that I notice, like, for me personally. But it's kind of hard. I don't want to give you that kind of advice, though, when I do agree with you, Ed, that I feel like it's not just keeping your room clean. I think you probably really need to, like, talk to somebody that's not your parents, that's not your friends, that's a neutral observer.
And we are not therapists.
And we are not therapists. We should state that right now.
It is cool that you finally realize that you do have this problem.
Yeah, that's the brightest side of all of this.
And you said it in an open forum, even though we don't know your real name or who you are actually or what you look like or, or your parents or, you know, any part of you really. But, you know, it sounds like you just need to start a little therapy and you got to want to make yourself better.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're just like set up right now with your parents paying for everything and sleeping through the fucking day and doing nothing at all, I mean, you're not going to change. So, I mean, either cut yourself off from your parents, not like emotionally or like, you know, like physically, just like monetarily cut yourself off from your parents and force yourself to start working. And then once you start getting your own money, I tell this to a lot of people who are younger than me, who live off of their parents. Like once you start getting your own money, you really start to love it.
You become addicted to not relying on other like people like your parents.
Yeah, no, and it's it really helps you move forward in your life.
It sounds like the fact that you're able to share, you are being this honest means you're ready for therapy.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of therapists. They all piss me off, says Balo. I did quit drinking and smoking. That's a bright side. Smoking weed last month, actually, which I think has helped. That's amazing.
Oh,
that
nice.
should help very much so. That's good. I'm sorry. One of the problems with therapists is, and this is what keeps me from going to therapy, is
I'm supposed to start.
I need to start, and I feel I really should. And the thing that keeps me from going is exactly what you're talking about, Belo. It sucks, but you have to go through some. It's like dating. You have to like go through some duds to like. Most people aren't going to find their therapist the first
right out
time
the
out.
gate. Yeah.
Which no one wants to go through that kind of mental trial and error.
And it's expensive.
It's expensive, and you don't want to get fucked with. You don't want to get led down a bad path and paying all this money. So I get it. I don't want to say that to keep you from going, but I do want to voice, I think, a lot of the same concerns that you have, so that, again, it's not as easy as clean your room. It's not as easy as find a therapist. So I understand how hard the road is, but it's a road we must take, especially if you're at this place in your life. And
it sounds like you want to be independent, or
like
you wouldn't even bring it up.
Yeah, it sounds like you want to be independent, and it sounds like you're ready for a change. So I think you're mentally in a really strong place. And you're quitting drinking and smoking weed. I mean, it sounds like you're really in a stronger place than you think, dude.
Yeah, especially that drinking will really fuck with you.
Yeah, seriously. Let's see. Hi, guys. Name's Bo, and I've been listening to a bunch of Roundtable episodes.
Bo, here we go.
And I have a hard time.
This guy's like an ass-eating fetish.
And
he
he's
always
talking
messages
about
us about this all the time. All right, you can read it. I'm
eating.
sorry to interrupt you.
No. That's okay. I kind of love this. It's great. Roundtable episodes, and I have a hard time listening when you guys decide to pick on Ben Kissel for his ass-eating endeavors. It's 2019, and I was just wondering, hoping that you guys have matured and opened your minds a little bit. Everybody can eat whatever fucking they want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We make fun of Ben just because he's there.
And I know you were asking this.
If he said he liked to eat marshmallows, I'd make fun of him for that.
That's the thing. I was about to explain. I'm like, well, for there to be like a comedy element to the show, there has to be conflict. Like comedy is conflict, like any other thing, drama or anything.
Mm-hmm.
If we all agree, it's harder to create, I think, funny moments. But I get it too. I know you probably weren't expecting that sort of an answer. But.
Yeah, and if you like eating ass, eat ass. Just be careful you don't die of Oregon Trails disease.
Yeah, and don't fuck with glass back there, because
you're gonna
there's
get
enough
diphtheria
YouTube videos
and stuff. Just be careful.
Sounds like there's a lot of people out there for Belo, which is really cool. I'm not going to read those comments, but Belo, you should read those comments and know that there are strangers out there for you. On a more serious note about my life, says Dale Cooper, I would love some support for anyone on a big life decisions I made a few months ago to leave my job to become a self-started hemp farmer here in Colorado. Amazing.
Cool. We have
so much Colorado news. Yeah, we do. We out in Seattle. Yeah. We just locked in our investors, but there is still so much to do.
I mean, it's a very hard job. It's not easy.
Hey, I'll tell you what, getting investors is probably, I would assume that's one of the hardest parts.
Yeah.
Getting people to fucking support you financially through your business endeavor.
You're becoming a farmer.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, people don't become farmers because it's easy.
Yeah.
So I know weed is fun, and it sounds like everyone's going to be like, oh, man, all you do is grow weed, man. Oh, good for you, dude. Did you just get high all day? It's like, no, it's farming. I got to get up at the crack of fucking dawn.
Farming is the dream is like, oh, just have a little farm and live by the land and have my own hours. And it's like, you don't have your own hours. You have to wake up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
It is not lucrative work.
If the sun is out, you're working.
Hemp will probably be more lucrative, but it's got to be a lot going on. And you're in an industry that is exploding right now.
It is. It's good to get on the ground floor now, man.
So congratulations, though, on getting this far. Because there's tons of people like, come on, man, give me money for my farm.
Oh, man,
you know what I mean?
Many shady-ass weed people out there. That's why they legalized it, so you don't have to deal with the shady people anymore. Just be fun, be nice, and work hard, and this will all be great for you guys. Congratulations.
Rob Gala, I'm really considering taking some time away from my friends, either temp or permanently. I keep feeling as if they don't care about the friendship as much as I do and feel as though they hold me back. Problem is, we've been friends for a while and I love them as a family. I'm torn. Have you ever been in that situation? For sure. I definitely went through that. It was when I moved to Astoria, I felt a little angst about my friends in general. I felt like everybody was just kind of going their separate ways and busy and becoming adults and it might just be that, and it might not even be your friend's fault. Sometimes people just kind of naturally grow apart. But I will say this, I feel like I spent that year not really in with my friends, but then I had like a resurgence after that and became closer to everybody.
Gotta figure it out.
Yeah, because that might mean there's some journey you need to go on, as opposed to it being your friend's fault. Because I know that was, for me, the case. Like, I needed to go on a personal growth year, and I couldn't do that drinking with my friends. Like, so I knew I needed to take that time for myself to like focus and put out work.
That makes sense. That makes complete sense. I'd say like with me and friendship, like it's all like you give everything you can, and if you start feeling bad, give a little more, and then if it stays shitty, then end it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. And it's like the best part about friendship is it's not a actual relationship. I mean, it's a relation. It's not like a sexual relationship,
right?
Where you have to like properly end it,
and hopefully there's not money on the line, and you know what I mean, or anything like that. So if you're not like living with them, it's something that you don't have to like take a purposeful time away.
Yeah.
If you literally just stop, you can just stop hanging out as much.
I have lots of friends. Personally, I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate. And so I have the luxury if someone starts being a dick to just stop calling them and not worry about
and hang out with other people. So it sounds like maybe you need Rob to find some other people to hang out with. You
don't need to get rid of these friends.
Exactly.
Just find some new ones too.
100%.
That's it.
That's it. So I guess the brighter side is there's always more friends.
There's a million fucking people everywhere.
I'm in a situation where I'm hitting like a friend cap, and I have the opposite problem where I'm almost like, you know what? I know, but I'm kind of good.
I've been to 3 weddings in 5 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. So I have the opposite problem. I'm like too many. I hang out with too many awesome people, and it becomes difficult to wrangle it all. And make sure to spend enough time with everybody. You know
because everyone gets pissed when you don't go to their birthday. You're like, I
can't do this again.
Tapped out.
I can't spend another $100. You know what I mean, on whatever. But yeah, I think that you should go out, find new people, man. Because I don't know especially if your friends you're referring to are literally from like high school, then yes, you should really try to find some people with your now common interests that you probably have lost touch with the friends.
I have like 4 big groups of friends in my life, and each one of them are attached to the city I lived in at that time.
Right.
I got my big high school friends that I'm still friends with. I got my college friends, which is Murder Fist. Then I got my comedy community in New York, and then I got my LA friends that I met out here.
They all hang and party a little differently.
Yeah, and then you start intertwining them, and then you see like
a lot of fun.
Which ones of them start picking up with each other, and it gets very interesting. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's lots of people out there with lots of different personalities.
100%.
And don't lose the old friends. Keep them. Just get new ones also.
You're of Twitch, brighter side of wanting to better myself and help my severe anxiety and depression by going to a therapist and seeing a DR to try new depression meds. Since I've tried literally every single depression med, I have treatment-resistant depression, and I had my first therapy session today and canceled because I had a panic attack. Feel like shit every day because of dialysis.
Ooh, because of dialysis. You see, there's the kicker
and
right there
at
the
Jen.
very end.
You've talked to Jim before about her dialysis and all that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
Oh, the Eeyore of Twitch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, you're the Eeyore of Twitch. If you weren't depressed, I mean, what would we all do?
This is the problem.
Yeah,
if you become cured, then we don't have an Eeyore of Twitch. So the brighter side is you serve a purpose in other people's lives. But also, I'm sorry you're going through that, and I'm sorry about these new updates that you send that seem to get worse and worse. But you're still kicking, and you're still, able to come here and talk to us and hang out and stuff. So other people have it worse. You know what I mean?
I mean, at this point, if you've tried everything and you still have panic attacks and you've tried all the meds and they don't work, you have to get some level of acceptance at some point. That's kind of how I feel about, just like as stupid as this may sound, is how I feel about my allergies. I can't cure them. I'm going to be fucked up. I'm going to snore like a bastard. And you try little things to make it better, but there's just at some point, you have to accept the way your life is. And if you accept it a little bit, then you start to realize what you can do to move past it.
Absolutely.
Don't concentrate so much about how fucked up your life is. Just do everything you can to enjoy it.
MD Leo Spaceman, I went through a breakup 2 months ago. I'm still having trouble moving on and letting go of someone that was such a huge part of my life. I feel like it's taking too long to get over and start feeling whole again. Is there a brighter side? I'm not seeing. Yeah, the brighter side is it's never necessarily like too long. You're allowed to feel the way that you feel. I mean, of course, you also want to be moving on and all those good things, but I will also say that like don't necessarily beat yourself up because you think you haven't gotten over it fast enough, because there really is no timeline for this thing.
No.
I don't know how long you guys have been together, but I do feel that the longer you are with somebody, the longer it takes to move forward. The brighter side that you're not seeing is that A, you're even able to have an experience with another person this meaningful, that you would feel this way about a breakup. You know, a lot of people go through their entire lives fucking just jerking off into a tin can and fucking smelling it every morning when they wake up as some weird kind of kick.
Yeah.
You know
I mean, that is where the expression "kick the can" comes
Kick the
from.
can comes in when you smell your own cum and it makes you jerk off into it again. Yeah, and so you could be that fucking dude in Delio Spaceman, you know what I mean? And the other thing is, I'm gonna say the brighter side is looking back on the time right after my breakup, and I know I've talked about this a million times ad nauseum on the stream, but looking back to the time after my last relationship in between before I met Lexi, some of the most fun times of my life.
Yeah.
And they were painful as well. It was some of the most intense heartbreak I've ever felt, but also some of the most fun I've ever had. So get out there, man. You're feeling feelings right now. Most of us just walk through our day fucking in emotional clouds of nothingness, and you're feeling shit right now. Feel it, live it, love it, dude.
Lean into it. Put on some sad ass music. Fucking go, feel this emotion because you're gonna move past this and you're gonna be happy again. And so that's just all this is.
Ass-eating lover Dale Cooper says, I'm from Chicago, with him farm. I'm from Chicago, so this is a huge change for me. Love you guys and love all your shows. I'll be listening while working on the farm. That's so awesome, dude.
Very cool.
Hell yeah, man. If you own a business, you basically have like 5 jobs. That's 100% true. I can attest. Brighter side of job burnout. Oh my God, I hear that.
Yeah.
G. Caro Flow. I probably fucked that up. I'm a home-based therapist. I love helping others and feel like I'm good at my job, rather. But dealing with other people's trauma every day gets exhausting. See, this is fascinating to me because I always thought about this.
Well,
how the fuck did these people?
Therapists.
Plus, I'm just tired of driving all the time, but until I can test for my clinical license in January, I won't get an office position. Well, the brighter side is you'll at least eventually get an office position if you truly want one. But always feel like if this is not working, if this career is not working, I know you put a lot of time and money into it, but understand that you have options. You could do something else, and I would highly advise it if it really is giving you a hard time dealing with everybody's trauma. But I think about this all the time. Like, who the fuck signs up to just be in everybody's shit? I absorb. Like, if Lexi comes in a shitty mood, I like absorb some of it.
Yo, absolutely.
And it's impossible almost not to. And I do the same thing. I'll come home pissed off at like the subway train, and it kind of ruins Lexi's day a little bit if I'm super pissed and screaming about the train. I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at anything, you know, but she just absorbs that energy from me, and I don't know how to shut that off. And so I always think about therapists and how they cope and how they deal with that.
I mean, I imagine they drink.
I imagine they drink.
Don't start drinking.
Don't start drinking. Well, he already is, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you think how many therapists do you think are drunk on the job?
Oh, I mean, if I was, I would be. I know when people ask, mostly except for this show, I mean, when people usually ask me for advice, I'm already half in the fucking bag. You know, so I don't know, man. It's tough. You've chosen a life to help other people, and I commend you for that. And I'm sorry it's taking a toll, but of course it is. It's a very hard job.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it anymore, don't worry about it.
I want to hear some more from you, though, if you want to give us a little bit more perspective on this, because it must be just unbelievably traumatizing to hear all of these people's stories and whatever they're going through. And, you know, it's almost the same as like, not nearly as bad though, but you know, the people who have to like, the cops who have to work in like child porn and stuff and deal with that. You know, I know they have like a early retirement situation, but like, who gives a shit? That's your whole life. You gotta fucking, you know, move forward.
Last thing I
with
want
that
to do,
knowledge.
If I have a friend who I gotta like talk about their feelings like more than once a week, it's usually gonna end pretty soon. So I commend you for what you do. I know you're getting paid, but you know, damn, you know, it's a hard fucking job.
It's a hard job.
Oh,
dude.
Here we go.
Cold-hearted bastards like me are the ones that last longest, I think. Nothing affected me at first, but now it's building up. Interesting.
Yeah, just go cry. You know the answers to your own fucking problems. What are we even talking about?
Well, that's the thing, too, right? Do you, though? I drink daily, lol, not on the job. There you go. So we got it. We nailed it, dude. We're just diagnosing these people. We should be therapists. We just diagnose the fuck out of this guy. J. Dale 1, it's dope as fuck that you guys have hit a good spot with your own lives and take the time to share some good thoughts, vibes with other folks. Absolutely. Well, that's the other thing, too. You know, why I don't feel very comfortable doing like a sex advice podcast, because I'm like, dude, if I'm having trouble in paradise and I have to go and try to give other people advice,
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I'll be like, dump her, break up, get out while you can. Depending on the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's all gonna be fine, guys. Like it truly is.
I love Panty Pudding's just like, wah, I have too many friends. You know what? I get it. It must sound very obnoxious, the things I say at all times.
Everyone's got their own problems.
So it says, let's lighten the mood a bit. What is the brighter side of having a hairy shaft? There is a word, and it is called manscaping, baby.
Yeah, you can
get into it.
You can Velcro your penis to a vagina that's also hairy, and then you guys will love each other.
That could be fun.
Yeah,
that could be fun.
It'd be like, you know, like those when the people wear the Velcro suits and they run against the Velcro wall. You can do that with your beloved.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got 5 minutes left in the stream.
What do you say we do 2 and then say goodbye?
Yeah, I'd say if you've got a last minute one you want to throw in, sneak in past the goalie, go for it. I'm going to read Parker's right now. I had a heart transplant about 4 years ago, and the only thing I've really done since then was graduating high school. I've not really done anything with my life, and I either spend most days in my room or going to the hospital for treatments or rejection. I've been feeling undeserving of the transplanted, but yet don't seem to do anything to move my life forward.
If you just graduated high school, don't worry about moving your life forward for 4 more years.
There you go.
You know, I mean, that's without a heart transplant. You know, if you're just like a normal, healthy dude, you know, I mean, you're fine. I can't believe you're so lucky.
Yeah.
You have a great, I mean, yeah, of course your body's going to reject someone else's heart from time to time. You're going to have to go, you have a fucking rare condition.
Right.
You know, and you got to go and fix it on the regular. It's just how it is. But you're alive. It's either this or death. Let's face it. And so you keep this going. You're doing great. Yeah, if you feel undeserving, of course you're going to feel undeserving. Another person's dead and you got their heart. That's never going to change, you know, but you're so lucky. And the only thing you can do to move forward with your life right now is just like guarantee that you're going to stay alive.
Yeah, you're one of those I'm surprised you're not one of those new lease on life dudes. And I hate to be like, I feel like this is a little rote to say it, but brighter side definitely is like, it's never too late. And you just got this new lease on fucking life, dude. So like, think about whatever you wanted to ever do in your life and like go attempt to take a crack at it. You know, I've had friends get into the careers that they're flourishing in at age 30, at age 40.
If you were 30 years old, I'd tell you you're young and don't worry about it.
Yeah, so like the fact that you are this young, like, dude, come on. You got a fucking million options in front of you, dude.
Yeah.
I get contacted by the Department of Child Services and specialize in child trauma, says J. Caro Flo. Day in and out, just talking to kids who have been abused sexually and otherwise. See, it's one of these guys. Get out of this, man.
No, I mean,
helping them
don't
grow
get out
into
of
fucking
it.
members of society. I know it's good for the world, but I just can't, man.
The kids need help. Don't tell them to get out of it.
Well, he's
doing
drinking it's driving him to drink every fucking night of his life. I know these kids need help, and you know, I mean, his life or theirs.
I mean, sometimes you gotta sacrifice.
Sometimes theirs. Can we get a little of the Jumbo Shrimp song? 2, 3, 4, we are the Jumbo Shrimp, here to play a game.
Ooh! Listen, man, therapist, dude, you gotta stick in there. These kids need you. I take back everything I said about finding a new job. I'm sorry it's fucking with you.
You're just damning this man to a life of mental torture.
You gotta be tortured, dude. I mean, it's tough, you know, but it's like, goddamn, man. Yeah, you gotta do this, man. I'm very sorry that you're going through this, but it's just, these kids are fucked up. And yeah, get them out of, do whatever you can to get them away from those families. Jesus Christ, you're a saint. We love you.
Yeah, you are a saint. I think that's how we have to end it right there, because that's the only way we can end it. So thank you for the host and chat. Thank you for all the love, and thanks, Ed, for having me do this with you. This is always a blast and easy for me because I'm in the studio.
Yeah, man. Let's try and do one more before you leave. If that's
for
cool.
For sure.
I
Absolutely.
love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to Brighter Side. I'm Ed Larson. It's Holden McNeely. Amber Nelson will be back again. Eddie Ewing will be back again. again. I check me out on Instagram. I love my Instagram. At Eddie Tunes, and Holden just hit 10,000 followers on Instagram.
On Insta.
Let's keep bumping those fucking
Yeah.
numbers.
I can swipe up for the link now.
What are you,
apparently.
Holden's? What is your Holdenators hoe?
Holdenato. I am Holden MCN, a very boring
Holden
Instagram
MCN,
name.
but you still found
How
your
crazy
way.
is that? I still got there.
All right,
how
guys.
amazing is that?
One of our favorite bands, at least I know it's one of my favorite bands, Deer Tick came out with a new album last month, and it's so good. And one of the songs that I really love is called Too Sensitive for This World, and I think it's very appropriate for this podcast. Listen to all of their music. They're so fucking good. We love you guys. Be good to yourselves. And assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Malaikum salam.